Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. We're back with another wrap-up video, and in today's video we'll be going through all my concealers, cream bronzers and cream blushes. So as you saw in last week's video, we did a ranking. I am kind of pre-filming this, so I don't know how the video did. So I thought I'd change it up and just see which video you guys like better and which one we should do going forward. I think I might just switch between the two, and then some people will like it, some people won't, and some people will like this format and some people won't. The way we're going to be doing it today is I'm going to be ranking them in the order of what I liked worse to best. So stay tuned for all my best products of this category, and yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So starting with concealers, because I like to go in a little bit of order of how I do my makeup. The worst concealer I tried in 2024, you should already know because this was in my halfway checkpoint. And unfortunately, nothing trumped it. Nothing was worse than this product, and that is the SheGlam Perfect Skin High Coverage Concealer. And if you watched my video when I tested this on my face and told you guys why I didn't like it, it's very sticky, it's too high coverage, and it just has the texture of paint. It smells like paint, it doesn't move much. And everybody was raving about this on TikTok, so I had to try it for myself. No. Especially for my under eyes, I have more fine lines and texture, so this just didn't work out for me. I do favor much more serum-like textures, which you'll see today, but that's the last time I'm going to mention the texture of my eyes or under eyes, because I do it quite a lot and I just end up repeating myself. But this is the worst thing I tried. I wasted my money and I wouldn't recommend this to my worst enemy. Next, we have the Essence Multitask Concealer Erase, Cover and Care. This falls in the exact same category as the SheGlam one does because it has that same texture. It's very dry, it doesn't move, it's too thick, and it's none of those things. It doesn't erase anything, it doesn't cover anything, and the care, I'm not exactly sure. If you consider cracked, creasy under eyes as care, then this is perfect. But I think if you have perfect skin, something younger, less textured, this might work for you. But for me, it's horrible. And I've tried it multiple times just to make it work for me. It just doesn't work. It needs like a bit of a serum in it, or maybe even like an oil, I don't know, but it's just so dry and literally is like pain. I didn't mention either, that I probably should have, that we have 12 concealers here. The next 5 concealers are actually not even the worst. They're kind of just mid, just meh. I love trying them and I liked getting use out of them, but I still wouldn't recommend it if someone wanted a concealer recommendation. I wouldn't recommend these straight off the bat, but depending on your taste, I don't think these are horrible, but they're just not my absolute favorites. So starting with the Studio London Flaunt Flawless Cream Concealer. It's supposed to be weightless and full coverage. Really gorgeous packaging on this one. I really love it. I actually got mine in the shade number 6. It doesn't have actual shade names. I do like this, like I said, but it's not one that I would recommend, or unless you were on a super small budget, I would say this is much better than the Essence one that I just spoke about, but it's not my favorite. It definitely isn't. It is also a bit dry and a bit thick, but it doesn't have that same consistency of paint that the other two did, but it's still too thick for my liking. Like I said, I like something more serum-like, but this doesn't quite fall into that category. I actually just remembered, why do I always do this? I actually have one more concealer that I need to add into the mix. No, I still have 12. So I counted wrong. Maybe I had 11 originally and then added the 12th one. Oh my gosh, what a mess. At number 9, we have Juvia's Place. I think it's called the Magic Concealer, but all the writing has actually come off. But it looks like this. And again, I have the same problem. It's just a little bit too thick. I don't love the texture. It also kind of has like a powdery finish to it. Looks like that. And unfortunately, it's not very movable, and it's not serum like I prefer, but it's not the worst concealer I ever tried. I wouldn't pay the full price for this. I did get it on the sales rack, but full price, I probably wouldn't have picked this, knowing now what the texture is like and the curiosity of trying a new brand. I wouldn't go for this, but it's okay. If you like Juvia's Place, I would say it's okay, but it's just too thick for my liking. At number 8, this one I wanted to love. I really, really wanted to love this, but unfortunately it just didn't hit the mark. I think the name is misleading, but this is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I do just have a small tester. It's okay, but it's not radiant and it's not creamy either. Again, it is just a little bit thicker than I prefer, but I love this color. It's ginger, medium to ginger, but again, as you can see, once it's blended out, it is quite matte and it is quite thick. So due to that, again, not to my taste, and I know a lot of people absolutely swear by this. I know Ali Glines absolutely loves this, but I like something more radiant and it just didn't hit the mark. At number 7, this pains me to say because I was very excited to try this out. Again, I didn't try it out for the longest time because I thought the full price was a little bit much for a budget brand. So I ended up getting this on the sales rack again, and this is the Catrice True Skin High Coverage Concealer with Hyaluronic Acid. This one, I feel it is kind of serum-like, but I think the shades are just a bit off. And it's not my absolute favorite texture. Again, I'm very big on textures, as you'll know. And it is, maybe I just don't like full coverage concealer, but it is very thick and claggy again. And it has a tendency to go patchy if you haven't prepped your under eyes properly. It's in my project pan, and I've taken a while to get a clear thought process about it. It's mid. It's very mid. It's not anything to write home about. I wouldn't recommend it straight off the bat either. If someone asked me if they should get this, I could recommend other concealers in the same or even cheaper price range than this is. At number 6, so we're halfway through, we have, I know this is weird and this is funny because I didn't think I would even put this in this category before trying the product, but somehow it's landed here, right smack bang in the middle. And this is the Cofferux Ultra HD Concealer, and this I got from Temu. I really like the texture of this. Color range, again, wishy-washy. I wish the doe fit wasn't so big, but it's not my absolute favorite, but I like the light color coverage and the luminosity it gives, and I would recommend this. I really would. So I think that for the price of it, it is really, really, really good. And like I said, I love the finish. I love the coverage because it's not too high coverage. It's more of like a light to medium coverage, which I love. So this falls exactly where I love it, but it still doesn't trump my absolute favorite concealers. So moving into my top 5 now. So at number 5, we have this. I've tried this previously, probably a year ago, and I retried it this year, actually a few weeks ago. And this is the MUA Pro Base Full Coverage Concealer. Again, I think it's misleading in saying full coverage because it's not. It's really thin, really watery. It gives you a light to medium coverage again, which is right up my alley. But again, not my favorite texture, but I would recommend this. And I would say if you wanted to try the brand, this is a good option. It's very, very good. If, like me, you have fine lines and texture, it doesn't accentuate anything. So definitely a top 5 product. At number 4, we have the PS My Perfect Color Illuminate Under Eye Concealer. And I think this is supposed to be a dupe for the Maybelline Age Rewinder Concealer. And I really love this. The texture is delightful. I love the coverage of it. It's very, very luminous and it sets down well. The only thing is it creases quite quickly, but still, I really, really love this. But again, doesn't trump my even top 3, which we will get into shortly. I could recommend this for sure. It was £3.50, so not huge and not a bank breaker, but definitely love it. Look how much I've used of it. I mean, I have had it for a year and I try to kind of phase it into my routine every now and then, but it does say lightweight and buildable, which I can 100% agree. For me, I feel like the shade is slightly off because it does turn a bit gray on me, but other than that, I absolutely love this and I would recommend. It is a whole lot cheaper than the Maybelline one is, because Maybelline obviously went super viral, so they came out with theirs, and I've never tried the Maybelline one, but I think this is way more accessible. At number 3, I'm sure you all know this if you've watched my channel. This is an empty, but I've just included it in because I kept it for my yearly empties. This is the Relove by Makeup Revolution Super Concealer. This is lovely. I got mine in the shade 10.5, which is the perfect shade for me. If I'm not wearing any foundation and just want to cover up some stuff, this is perfect. It matched my skin tone perfectly. It had the best, most flawless texture, and I used it so quickly. I absolutely love this. It says Hydro Boost on it, which is the truth. It's very, very, very hydrating, and I loved every second using this up. At number 2, so I was kind of conflicted about this being at number 1 or number 2 because I'm still kind of getting a feel for it, but every time I use it, I'm like shocked. I look in the mirror, I'm like, wow, I love this product. But then the number 1 product I used again like today, and I'm like, absolutely love this. Absolutely love this. But this is the Maybelline Super Active Super Stay 30-Hour Concealer. I hated the foundation that goes with this. Absolutely hated it, but this is lovely. Absolutely lovely. They have their shades down. I mean, they are quite established, so they have their shades down, and I can always find my perfect match. This was, I literally just picked up off the shelf, but I guess I know my shades better than I did a few years ago. I can't even see the shade name anymore. Oh, 30 is all it says, but this is great. It's thin, it's lightweight, it's blendable, it's luminous, it's all the things I want in a concealer. And I'm shocked because I put off trying this for the longest time. I just thought if I hate the foundation, I'm probably gonna hate this because the foundation was super patchy, it clung to certain areas of my face. This is not. A true serum concealer, and honestly, I would 100% recommend this. That's why it's in my top 2. Then moving into my favorite concealer. I'm shocked at this as well because everything else from this brand I don't slate them, but I'm always have an issue with because they've always got work to do. I love this. This is the Essence Stay All Day 14-hour long-lasting concealer. Looks like that, and this is waterproof. It's got a new and improved texture, which I can attest to because this is lovely. I used it again today. It blends out like a dream. It's lightweight. It doesn't crease immediately. Like I did my concealer today, went to the kitchen to make coffee, came back to powder it down, and it hadn't creased. So for me, that is everything I want, and this is so good. I would wear it on my wedding day. So good. I absolutely love the texture. I love the coverage. Like, you can still kind of see my under eye bags, which I prefer. I don't want it completely gone because I'm human and I want to look human. I don't want to look like a doll. So I still like it slightly peeking through, but not as prominent as it usually is. So this one, top of the list, top tier, absolutely love it. Moving into bronzers, we only have 6 of them. I didn't try a lot of cream bronzers this year. I just felt like the product actually lasts really long. I worked on one in my project pan for 2 years. 2 years. So I don't, even though I like to do full face of new makeup, I prefer to pick up like a powder bronzer just because I feel like that is really where you can also see the texture, and I can add it over any single cream bronzer I have. So it's not like a staple in my routine, if I can put it that way, because I don't often use it. I don't always use it. It's nice to try sometimes if it looks interesting enough, but I haven't tried that much. This is probably the smallest category other than brows that I've tried this year. So this should be fairly quick. So at number 6, we have the Skyvie Stereoscopic Double-Headed Makeup Stick. Oh my gosh, robotic. And unfortunately, I'm judging this on the product I got. I'm judging it on the experience I had with the product. So if you like it, that's fair and well, but for me, it just didn't hit the mark. And I feel like for this, the color range, again, was non-existent. There were probably 2 or 3 shades, and this is the darkest one, which is coffee, and it's not dark. I'm not the color of coffee unless you like a lot of milk, but I don't even know if you'll be able to see it. That is it. First of all, it's like straight orange, and I could probably use this as a foundation shade. So this just didn't hit the mark for me. I wouldn't waste my money on it. It smells really good. I wouldn't waste my money on it. It doesn't really show up. It kind of sculpts my face enough that you can kind of see it, but if you're even a shade darker than I am, or even myself in the sun, if I went a shade darker, you wouldn't be able to see this anymore. Moving into number 5. So this isn't terrible. This is probably like the midsection. This isn't terrible, but it isn't my absolute favorite either. And I thought I hated this. This was actually in the worst makeup I've tried so far this year, which was like my 6-month mark. And it is the She Glam Statch and Define stick. Love this packaging. It's so sleek with like the soft touch matte. Amazing. But unfortunately, this can tend to lift your makeup up underneath. It's quite waxy. It doesn't move much, and the color is like, like I could have done without it, but depending on the way you apply it, it can work. So I applied it with a sponge because I forgot to wash all my brushes, or intentionally didn't wash all my brushes. I used this with a sponge and it looked beautiful on the skin. It was luminous. It was all the things I wanted to be. Didn't lift my foundation, and I was really happy with it. So it isn't the worst product. It's just finicky, and there's only a certain way you can apply it, which for me, honestly, who has time for that? Who has time for that? So due to that, this is at number 5. Number 4, this is the Studio London Flaunt Floor. Everything's Flaunt Flawless from them, but it's the bronzing stick, and it says 12-hour wear. I'm actually wearing this one today. I was going to wear my top one, but then I thought I can't fully remember what I thought of that because I haven't worn it for quite some time, and I liked it enough. I liked it enough. I liked it better than the She Glam one, but it's just not an outstanding product in any way, shape, or form. It does the job. It takes a bit of blending, but other than that, it's okay. It's okay. It's very mediocre, and who has time for mediocre? But because I try so much makeup, I guess it fits in really well, because otherwise this video wouldn't exist. It would just be like all the makeup I love. So yeah. Not the best. So we're already down to my top 3. And the one at number 3, I think you're going to be a little bit surprised, but it is the Catrice Magic Shaper Contour and Glow Stick. First and foremost, I never use the glow stick. I've used it probably twice. I never ever use them. I don't know why brands do double-ended. Just do one end, because who wants to use that? Like, honestly, it's like wax. And that brings me to the controversial part of this. This is very waxy. It is very, very, very stiff. Don't know if you'll be able to see, but you have to push really, really hard, and then you get little to no pigment on your hand. This is a tough cookie again, but I absolutely love the shade. And once it's on, it looks gorgeous. It looks really, really, really natural. So what I like to do is take my brush and just pick up loads of it, dab it on the back of my hand, and then apply it on my face. And it looks gorgeous, flawless, sun-kissed, all the things you want from a bronzer. So I still really love this. I would recommend it. I mean, I wish they would just make the top bit and get rid of the bottom, because honestly, in this day and age, who uses a double-ended stick like this? But great, absolutely love it. In my top 3. Then top 2. At number 2, I actually tried this recently on a video, but I've been testing it for about 2-3 weeks now. And this is the Essence Baby Got Bronze stick. And they came out with like darker shades. One of them is actually black, which is quite rude, but it's supposed to be, I guess, a very, very dark brown, but it looks black to me. This is like the second deepest shade, and it is slightly too deep for me, but I love the texture of this. It does have more of like a red undertone, so it depends on like what you're vibing with that day. Sometimes I like a more warmer, sometimes cooler, sometimes red. It just depends on the day, but this makes you look super, super sun-kissed. It goes on top of any type of base that you have without lifting up anything, and it looks amazing on the skin. If you want to go check out that video, I'll link it up in the cards. It is the one where I did my summer makeup, and this looks gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Use it almost every single day since I got it. And then at number 1, this one I've raved on about for ages, and it is the MUA Makeup Academy Bronzed Caramel Cream Bronzer, and mine is in the shade Caramel. I always give it a sniff first because it smells delightful, and that is what it looks like inside. It is more of like a potted one, but this is so much product. It's 14 grams. Lovely, 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 lovely. It's the most natural bronzer on me without obviously fading into the background. It is so natural. It's so seamless. It's so creamy. At first it is quite stiff, so you kind of have to warm your brush up or warm the product up first, and then gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Now I was going to use it today, like I said, but I needed to just try this one out a little bit just to like make sure that my opinion was still the same. I know I love this. I know I love it. I used it in my recent MUA video. I'll also link that in the cards if you guys want to check that out. Great. 100% recommend. We have this in South Africa and I'm so happy. I'm so happy with this product. Moving into our next category, which is cream blushes. Well, it's cream and liquid. And then I also think I'm just going to throw in cream highlighter because honestly, I don't use much of it. I don't like using it. So I'm going to throw it in because I didn't try many this year. For blushes or cream blushes, we have 10. I found this very, very difficult because I love blush. Blush is my favorite, my absolute favorite other than eyeshadow. I love foundations the same because I know that I like my skin to look a certain way, but blush really has my heart. I'm a blush girl through and through. If I'm not wearing blush, my makeup feels incomplete, and it is incomplete. This was difficult. I have one product that's probably the most terrible, but everything else I think is all like either in the mid-range or good but not the best. So this was tough for me, very tough for me. Starting with the worst one is this Collection Lip and Cheek Stain. I don't get the point of these. It tastes like a felt tip pen, or a felt tip marker, shall I say. It just did nothing for me. It gets patchy, it doesn't give me the pigment. Maybe it's my skin tone, maybe it's my skin type. I tried it with makeup, without makeup. It's not great. It works on the lips, but the texture and the feel of it, not my favorite. Maybe I just don't like lip stains or cheek stains, but stains do not work for me. This didn't work for me. Then the next 3 products I'd say are all right, but it definitely does need work. So this is number 9 and number 8, or you could switch them around, doesn't really matter. But these are the Catrice Blush Affair liquid blushes. Looks like that. My problem with these is I don't think they're pigmented enough, and I feel like the colors are not different enough to warrant buying multiple of them. These on the cheeks, I try to do like a sunset blush or an ombre blush. They looked exactly the same. Use different brushes, use different sponges. They look exactly the same on the cheeks and they don't last. Like normally a liquid or cream blush helps your other blush or your powder brush on top of that last. This didn't do that. It just, I don't even like the applicator. It's not the best product, but it's also not the worst depending on your taste. I like something a bit more pigmented personally because blush fades so quickly on my face, but these are not it. For number 7, I put this in. So this is the Essence Baby Got Blush, which is supposed to be like the Charlotte Tilbury dupe with the little pillow on top. And unfortunately, these again, it's the shades. The shades are just too light, too wishy-washy, and I feel like the actual product, it fades away. It blends away. So it's not pigmented enough, at least for what I like. And I think if your skin was super, super pale and everything is visible on it, this probably would work for you, but there's still so many people of different colors and tones, and this just doesn't work. It's too transparent, is that the word? But it just doesn't have enough pigment, and you keep having to layer, and who has time for that? I have the deepest shade of this as well, and I found the same problem. So not great, but it isn't the worst product depending on your taste. The next products are probably my favorites out of all my blushes, and I'm just putting them in a particular order for the theme of the video, but I probably could interchange all of these and love them more on the day that I'm using them. In 6th place here, we have the Made by Mitchell Blush. And it looks like that, and I got mine in the shade Cherry Cola. I actually got this in a mystery box. I do like this. It's pretty moussey, and if I could choose my own color, I wouldn't have chosen this, to be honest with you. I do like the way it looks. I do like the way it blends out. However, it does have a slight shimmer through it. I don't know if you'll be able to see, and if you know anything about me, I don't like shimmers through my blush. So that's kind of what threw to this end of things, but It's still good blush. I really do like the pigmentation, the way it moves on the skin, but I wish they hadn't put like a slight glimmer in there. I don't like the slight shimmer through this, but it's not a terrible product and I probably would recommend. The price is quite pricier than everything else I have here, but still good, still good. Then in 5th place, top 5 here, and this is the She Glam Snatch and Blush Stick. Looks like that. I got mine in the shade Next Dimension, and it's a really pretty orange. I love this, but it depends on the day again. Like sometimes it can be a little bit patchy, sometimes it can lift your foundation, so it just depends how you prep your skin and how you apply it, which is finicky, but I still do like the end result and the color of this. At number 4, this was difficult because I really do like this, but I really like the next 3 products more. But this is the Catrice Cheek Flirt Face Stick. Looks like that, and it's just like the chubby stick. I got mine in the shade Techno Pink, and I do love this. I love the texture of it. I like the slight sheen it gives you, and I love the longevity of this. But like I said, the next 3 I like more. So this fell behind a little bit, but I would recommend you get this. I got this off the sales rack because original price like $200. I was like, who do you think you are? Like, honestly, that's like Maybelline prices. Why? I got it off the sales rack and I think I paid maybe 89 Rand for it, and it's worth that for sure. It's really, really good. Would 100% recommend this. Top 3 here. So these are all varying, oh my gosh, I can't speak. These are all varying brands, but I didn't think this would make the top, but it really did. And this is the first Studio London product we have in the top, and this is the Flawless blusher, and it's just a cheek and lip pigment. Looks like that. I got the shade Embrace. Really like this. It's so pigmented. It's got the perfect texture. It lasts long, and it's slightly luminous, but not from shimmer, but just like texture. Gorgeous on the cheeks. Love it. So pigmented. This I would recommend using with a sponge because it does diffuse the product a bit better. If you use a blush and just go straight in, it can leave it where you put it down and then doesn't blend out as seamlessly. So with a sponge, I think this looks absolutely gorgeous on the skin. So pigmented, love it. Then here's a product I thought at number 2 wouldn't make it to the top, but the more I've used it, the more I've loved it. And I didn't even think the color would suit me, but this is the Essence Baby Got Blush Stick. Looks like that. Mine's in the shade Tickle Me Pink. And I thought, like, looking at this shade, it's going to have a white base. It's not going to suit my skin tone at all. But it's got the most natural flush look to it. And I use it basically every day. It should actually be in my project pan the amount of times I use this, because for everyday use, when I'm just doing like a little book check-in or a little makeup short or book short, I always reach for this because it's so easy to use. It's pigmented enough, and I love the way it looks. It also smells like watermelon, and it's like almost like a watermelon bubblegum smell. So it makes the experience just that much better, and I love it. I would recommend these. I really want to get like a few more colors, but I would definitely recommend this based on my experience with this little stick here in this color. Then my top, I didn't think it would be in here because I was confused. I wasn't sure if it was cream to powder or powder to cream or what kind of texture it is, but it's definitely a cream product. This brand closed down, but that foundation was in my top as well. If you watched last week, you'll know my top foundation, which I would love to wear on my wedding day. And the blush is not any different. I am again wearing it today. My blush is actually looking quite washed out. I don't know if it will look different on like when I put on my laptop, but on my little screen, what is it called, viewfinder, it's looking like the lights are washing it out, but it's beautiful. Love it. So this does have more of a sheeny, like, I wouldn't say glittery, but glimmer through it, and it still looks absolutely gorgeous because it is like the slightest wash of it and it just illuminates everything. It's got the right undertone, so I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it. There's like a goldy, bronzy reflect in there, which is perfect for it. Absolutely perfect. I can't wear silver on my skin because it washes me out and makes me look kind of ashy, but this is gorgeous. Unfortunately, they have discontinued it, but this is definitely the best cream blush I've tried this year. Honestly, I put it on today again and fell back in love with it. It's so pigmented, it's so smooth. Honestly, it's everything I want in a blush. That's it for blushes. So the last category we have is the highlighters, the cream highlighters. I do not have a lot. I'm not going to rank these, but I'll just tell you that I don't like either. So I am wearing this one today. This is the Blush made by Mitchell, and it says liquid blusher. I don't know if this is incorrect, but I have mine in the shade Pretty from Heaven, but this is definitely a cream highlighter. I don't like cream highlighters, so I don't think I can rate it or rank it. I'll just tell you what I feel. This is too thick, too gel-like, and it just doesn't have the right texture in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, if you're into this, go for it, but unfortunately I'm not. Then the second one is also the Baby Got Glow Stick by Essence, which is again supposed to be the dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury, where it has the little poof on top. But again, I don't like cream highlighter. I don't know why I got it. I don't know what I was thinking, but this one is even worse because it's kind of like, it's the texture of like a putty. I don't know if I'll be able to show you now, but it's kind of, oh God. Actually, the texture's completely changed and it actually just came out so much. So now it's like literally water. It smells really good again, but it's literally like water now. Whereas before it was more like a silicone texture, but now it's watery, and that doesn't look too bad. So I don't know if I got a like faulty product because mine doesn't come out the top, it comes out all at the bottom on the sides. But I don't like cream highlighter, so there was no hope for this. There was no hope for this. So that is everything for today. That's all my cream products. So concealer, cream bronzer, cream blush, and cream highlights. But you know, highlights, I don't have to repeat myself again, but that was the most long-winded way to say that this is my favorite concealer, this is my favorite bronzer, and this is my favorite blush. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know the best products you tried this year. Also let me know if you've tried any of these that I've tried and ranked quite highly and what you thought. And again, also the lower end of things, let me know what you thought when you tried it, or if you prepared to try any of these. But that's it from me, guys. Please remember to like and subscribe. Also give this video a thumbs up if you like it, so I know to continue on with the series. Let me know which format you prefer, the ranking like I did today or the tier ranking that I did last week. Let me know and we'll make a plan. I think my next video will be tier ranking because I don't have your opinion just yet, but do let me know, and I will see you all next week. Bye guys.